Muy buenas tardes, estimado auditorio de Media Telecom. Nos encontramos aquí en la ciudad de Río de Janeiro en la reunión de FutureCom 2013. Y bueno, está aquí lleno de productores, fabricantes, y en esta ocasión está con nosotros el señor Shinya Kukita, que él es el responsable de la unidad global de negocios de NEC. Y thank you for the interview, Mr. Kukita.
My pleasure.
Pleasure. What could you tell us about the smart cities? We have heard that the NEC has a leadership in this role in providing solutions and applications for, especially the government of Brazil, in one of the others that you work with. And what is the main activities that NEC provides?
Okay. Under the NEC's the mid-range plan, I mean, one of the goal is to contribute. I mean, to build the social infrastructures, and particularly the leveraging the ICT technologies. And then when we say the smart city, I mean, it could mean many different things. I mean, it could be the physical securities, or the energy efficiency, or the education, healthcare, or transportations, or even the rather simple digital network connectivities. But out of those issues, I mean, our focus is more on the public safety and also the network environment. And in that sense, I mean, we are involved in some project in Brazil or in other countries as well. And in case of the Brazil, one of the activities around the sports arena or the football stadium, for example, we are engaged in the integration of the ICT systems inside the stadium. But the real goal is to make that stadium not only as a legacy of the event, but also the core of the new communities. So we like to expand that ICT experience to outside the stadiums, to build the smart city around the stadiums. So that's the primary activities, I mean, we're doing in Brazil at this moment.
What NEC needs, I mean, to instrument these solutions in smart cities in terms of planning, in terms of investment, in terms of infrastructure? What is needed to have a real and efficient smart city?
I see. Obviously, any initiative involves some commitment or the investment by many cases by the city authorities or the master developers from their end. But the important point is at the end, the goal of the smart city initiative is the people's perceptions. Means, I mean, the value of the city cannot be measured by the amount of the money they spend. I mean, it should be measured by the perception by the people living in the city or visiting the city or working in the city, if they feel the city is better place to live in, work in, visit. And so that for the purpose, we feel the ICT technology can contribute, I mean, to make that happen. So important, again, the point is the commitment by either the city office or the mayors or the residents, I mean, to make the city better place. So that's the first point.
And what are the main challenges that you have found in implementing these smart cities?
Actually, it comes to the same point. I mean, of course, I mean, technology is one issue, but the real issue is the sustainability as a project. I mean, in other words, that's the business model of the city service. I mean, it's not that easy, I mean, to justify the investment, I mean, without knowing, I mean, what will be the benefit, I mean, after this investment. So it's always the chicken and egg, I mean, issues involved. But we feel combining the multiple services or the sharing the investment by multiple verticals that will help the points. That means, I mean, for example, I mean, the disaster preventions, like, I mean, the flood disaster management in case of the Leo, for example. I mean, for that purpose, they may install the many sensors or the cameras or the peoples, but the data acquired through those devices, if that can be shared by the department, I mean, who are managing the energy, who are managing the transportations, in a sense, that investment will be shared by the multiple services, and that will help to justify the investment. And for that purpose, I mean, we propose to build the integrated platform, I mean, for multiple vertical services. So we are exhibiting our prototype of the city operation solutions at one thing, and the other one is we have the smart service, I mean, in the booth. I mean, showing, I mean, how we can integrate those multiple vertical services.
What is NEC doing differently from the competitors in terms of the public safety, sustainability, infrastructure solutions? What do you do different?
I would say that there are two aspects. The one aspect is something I have already discussed. I mean, the integration of the multiple services, or the visualization of the multiple service, or try to connect one service to the other. The other aspect of the technology itself. The NEC is well known actually in the field of the biometric-based the identification technologies, such as the fingerprint identifications or the face recognitions. We are ranked number one, I mean, in the technology assessment by NIST. That's a North American lab, I mean, to test the various technologies. And the NEC's technology has been identified as number one, I mean, for the accuracy and also the scalability in both the face recognitions and the fingerprint things. And the other one is that the big data analytics engines, because, I mean, the smart city will have so many data, I mean, in real-time basis. I mean, we need to have a capability to analyze those data, I mean, in a timely manner. And the NEC can support the basic engines, I mean, to realize those functions, once again, in the biometrics identifications and as well as the big data analytics engines. So that's the strengths of NEC.
And do you think these two big elements of differentiation has been perceived by the people? What can you tell me about some success stories about this perception of the people?
Actually, the one, but in particular case, that's the big data analytics engines has been deployed by the nuclear power plant in Japan. I mean, because they have so many critical data to be analyzed in a timely manner. I mean, they are using our engines and they appreciate it, the performance of the engines. That's one example. The other example is, I mean, we are engaged in the city operation center type the discussions at this moment. It's not really the commercially deployed stage yet, but we have an activity not only in Brazil but also in Spain, in China, and in other countries as well.
How do you envision the future smart cities in Latin America? I mean, in terms of in short term and middle term, do you envision the development of smart cities in Latin America?
Yes, definitely. The Latin America is the growing, the economical. I mean, the growing society. I mean, in the economical sense, and that typically that means the advancement of the urbanizations. Means, I mean, the people will start living inside the city. I mean, so people tends to concentrate, I mean, in the city, so that the issues, I mean, such as the traffic congestions or the utility, I mean, the power, the supply or the water supply or the waste management or the physical securities, many of those of issues will become apparent. I mean, they become visible. I mean, in a very near future in many part of the Latin America. So we feel there are many cities or the municipalities, need to take an action, against those situations. So I would say there are many potential opportunities for us, to help those cities or the municipalities to make their cities better.
And you're also planning, let's say, like you're working in smart cities, working also in a smart countryside?
Yeah, actually, yes, there's an issue. We like to be involved, but in reality, the decision-making process at the country level is rather complicated. And we found a strong mayor is a very good partner. To help. For us to implement the idea in reality. But certainly, some of the issues, such as education or the healthcare, that cannot be handled by the city level. Those things need to be handled by the country level. So there are several issues. Suitable for the smart country type activities.
And NEC will be ready for offer some kind of solutions or applications in these terms of education, health for the countryside?
Yeah, yes, we are definitely, one of the immediate thing we can support is the broadband network connectivities. As a matter of fact, many of those, at least I would say that some of the issues regarding the education or the healthcare can be solved by offering the broadband connectivities, from the urban side, city to the countryside. So in many cases, it's a better idea to develop the broadband connectivity first, and then try to put the adequate expertise, throughout the countries. And then the network connectivity is one of our most traditional business. We feel comfortable. So.
Well, we wish you luck in this hard work, and well, thank you very much for this interview, Mr. Kukita. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Para Media Telecom, Fernando Viveros desde FutureCom, Río de Janeiro 2013.